on the Sunday special presentation.
Thank you very much. Well, my husband and I, we just celebrated our 2nd anniversary. Yes, which here is no big deal. You say you've been married 2 years, people go, so what? In Hollywood, you say you've been married 2 years, people say, what's your secret? There, a marriage is a success if it outlasts milk. And I was very nervous about getting married. I changed the ceremony. I didn't like for better or for worse. I liked for better, forget it. My husband, he was nervous too. The proposal wasn't real romantic because he'd been drinking. So he didn't get down on his knees. He got up on his knees. Hard to say yes when they've got their shoes on their hands and they're pretending they're a seal. He even gave me this ring on the condition I wouldn't call it an engagement ring. I said, I'll call it a can opener. Just give me the ring. And then I thought maybe I should go with him to get the ring, because you never know what they're going to bring back. And the worst thing you can say when someone gives you an engagement ring is, you wouldn't happen to have the receipt. I love my ring, though. It's an antique. It makes it that much more special to me, knowing that someone didn't want it anymore. My parents, they've been married forever. My parents, they've passed their gold and silver anniversaries. The next one is rust. My mom's always trying to figure out new ways to keep excitement in their marriage. She took up belly dancing. She wasn't good at it. In order to make it appear like she was moving, my dad and I had to jiggle the furniture behind her. Some good tips about how to stay married, though. She said, always remember honesty is very important. It must be avoided. And she also said, just don't try to change your husband. Whatever's wrong with him, just learn to use it to your best advantage. My dad sleepwalked. She never tried to change it. She just started handing him the Hoover. And my dad was just so happy. I married a man who didn't have a pierced ear. That's all he cared about. I think men who have a pierced ear are better prepared for marriage. Well, they've experienced pain and bought jewelry. I love being married. I do. It's so great to find that one special person that you want to annoy for the rest of your life. You get more confident when you're married. Well, for instance, when you're single and you don't hear from your boyfriend, you think, should I call him? When you're married and you don't hear from your husband, you think, what should I call him? My real sneeze came out, and we have a loud family sneeze, and it gets louder as we get older. My dad kills ducks with his nose. I was always getting involved with the wrong type of man. Well, no one in the 80s really wanted to get involved. I guess that was the problem. I dated one guy for about 2 years, and finally I just gave him an ultimatum. I said, listen, either you tell me your name or it's over. We were playing tennis. He couldn't even say 30 love. He kept saying 30, I really like you, but I still have to see other people.
Whether you're relaxing or on the go.
Hello? Yes, I've told him to buy.
Day or night. Race car driving. Or skydiving. Cleaning the phone. Or just plain jean splicing. Isn't it nice to know that your carpets aren't being dented? Coming to BBC2 this autumn.
Ow! Ooh.
The girl who forgot she didn't have PSK.
Look at how popular Allegra is. All the children want to play with her.
Well, she's the only child that's got a car.
It's important to have friends. You know how snobby children can be, especially at the school for the gifted.
Allegra goes to the school for the gifted.
Yes, doesn't Christina?
I don't want to talk about it.
Pate?
No, thank you. I mean, it's not that she isn't bright. I mean, she's very bright. She's been tested.
Of course.
I mean, she walked almost immediately.
I pulled Allegra back. The doctor said she was developing too fast.
Well, you know, when the doctor put the stethoscope on my stomach, and with most children you hear a heartbeat.
Yes?
The alphabet.
That's remarkable. Allegra was painting. Yes, she handed masterpieces out of my navel.
Of course, Christina was too busy to paint, you see. She was selling property. Yes, she ran a business from my stomach, amassing a small fortune.
Allegra really wasn't interested in making money. She preferred to use her time to write an opera, thereby ensuring her place in history before she was born.
What? Well, if you're thirsty, go over to the water fountain and press the button. Now, that's a tree.
Allegra will help her. Darling, the fountain, the thing with water coming out of it. No, that's a dog.
You're so good. You're too good for me, you are. You're the best damn person I have known by far. If I could, you know I'd never throw this curve. You're a goddess, and I'm not what you deserve. What I am saying is our thing must end, but though it must, I want to be your friend.
Friend. You want to be my friend? You want to be my friend? Oh, that's nice. You want to be my friend? I have friends I know from college, high school pals that I still see. I have sisters in sororities across the country fond of me. 2 chums from Dayton grade school, 1 whole family from St. Paul. There are kids I know from summer camp who still give me a call. I have friends from when I lived in Paris and my singles cruise. I have 5 old boyfriends who still call me up to schmooze. I have buddies from the lab in Boston, colleagues from the zoo. I've got an aunt in Cleveland that I always can turn to. I've got enough friends!
Perhaps I should be going.
You stay right there. You want to be my friend? You want to be my friend? Well, I'm touched. You want to be my friend? I want a lover and a husband and a partner and a spouse. I want someone to split expenses with me on a summer house. I want a father for my unborn children, someone who's in tune. And since I'll be 39 next month, I want him rather soon. I want someone to buy rugs and lamps with, someone who'll co-sign. I want a small joint bank account in his name and in mine. I need someone I can fight with, learn to cook with, love to feed. Come to think of it, there's only one thing I do not need. I don't need a
I really should be going. No, I deserve this. You're such a wonderful person, and I'm such a useless...
I don't need to hear from you. I'm perfect and end up all wet. I'm tired of being the greatest girl a man has ever met. And I don't want to make a commitment to you. Ha! Can't you see? You don't want to tell the truth. Oh, no, you just want out from me. Yes, I know inside you're fragile. Yes, your mother was a mess. If that's why you can't receive a woman's love, I could care less. I don't need to know it's your fault. Have some balls. It doesn't fit. You're not sick and tired, misunderstood, or waiting. You're just a shit. You want to be my friend? Who would want you as a friend? Is my name on this lease?
Sorry?
Is my name on this lease?
Yes?
Then get out of my apartment. I'll be right back on A&E. I have to rest a little. I'm very tired.
The bone on the right cleans dogs' teeth. So does the bone on the left. But in a nationwide taste test, dogs just like yours pick meaty bone 2-to-1. Experts concur. For a tasteful way to clean teeth, there's no bone like a meaty bone.
This is how the roomy new Cutlass Supreme SL looks after traveling 300 highway miles on just 10 gallons of gas. And this is how Honda Accord looks after the same challenge. Well, if it hadn't run out of gas 20 miles back, you'd see that it's smaller and it's blue. Next trip, Dad, it's yours. Who says you can't get great gas mileage in a roomy, comfortable car? Cutlass Supreme is one car that does it all and does it right.
This is the new generation of old.
The only company in the air express business with 2 next-day delivery options is Federal Express. 10:30 a.m. if your package has to arrive early, or if it can get there just a little later in the day. We've got a brand new afternoon service that will deliver almost anything up to 150 pounds by 3 o'clock. At a price that's tough to beat. Same great service, now twice a day. Federal Express, absolutely, positively the best in the business. Twice a day.
Like you, your car has a heart, the engine, and it has valves where deposits can form. The right diet can make a difference. Fill up with Mobil Super Unleaded Plus. Its detergent formula can unclog vital engine parts. For power and performance, get Mobil Super Unleaded Plus and drive your engine clean. Get a free box of hefty cinch sack bags with every fill-up of 8 gallons or more of Mobil Super Unleaded Plus.
From a legend remembered to a young performer whose time has come, A&E presents the arts at their finest, stars at their brightest, television at its best. Brought to you by 100% Colombian coffee, the richest coffee in the world.
Guess what coffee they serve at tea? 100% Colombian coffee, hand-picked by Juan Valdez, the richest coffee in the world.
We now return to The Me Show, starring me, written by me. Me. I've always been a little bit nervous about having plastic surgery. I was going to have my nose fixed once, but I walked into this guy's office, and on his walls, there were all these pictures by Picasso. I got to thinking, my nose may not be perfect, but it's centered. I could wake up, it could be in a guitar. But today we're going to visit Dr. Elam, and I'm assured he's the best in the business. He's done everyone. Let's go meet him. Hello, Dr. Elam. It's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Rita.
First of all, I have to tell you I'm very sorry about everything on my face. It's not my fault. My parents did this to me. Now, what are we going to do first?
Well, I'll tell you what. First of all, sit right here.
Okay.
And you're real lucky because today we're going to put you on the facial computer and we're going to give you an idea of the way you'll look after cosmetic surgery.
Aha.
Okay? Cosmetic surgery is designed to improve your appearance. And improve your appearance in a way in which you feel better about yourself and you look better.
Okay, well, I've always hated my nose. Do something to my nose, please.
Well, this is a good idea of what your nose is going to look like when we're finished.
I love that.
Take a little bit of that off.
That's amazing. Ouch.
Rita, the other thing is, not only is your nose a little bit too prominent, but your chin, sweetheart, is a little bit too weak. And I think that the combination of doing what we call a rhinoplasty,
Yes?
and making your chin look better through
I'm fine, yes?
would be a stunning difference in the way that you look.
Thank you.
Okay. And I'm going to slide your chin up a little bit. And this is a nice, easy way for you to see that the way it'll look. We can do it through computer graphics.
Well, maybe I can just stay the way I am and then carry the computer around. Well, I'm looking much better, I have to admit. I would love to look like that, only without the bleeding. Now, what's your most popular form of surgery that you do here?
I would say the most popular thing that we do is breast augmentation.
Breast augmentation. How much is it?
That's about $4,000.
That's very expensive. How much for just one? I found this. What's this?
That's an implant.
Oh, really? It's very small.
That's a chin implant.
Ah, stop. Yeah, that's it. Maybe I'll just glue it on. Now, this is the most amazing place because I've seen it back there, and you have an operating theater right here. Two, right here in your office. So where do the patients go after surgery?
Well, a lot of patients go right over to the Four Seasons Hotel.
I'd like to hear some of those room service orders. I'd like some eggs and gauze. Do you mind if I ask you a few personal questions?
Not at all.
Are you married?
Divorced.
Did you ever operate on your wife?
I had to.
You had to. What kind of an answer is that? Did the divorce have anything to do with the results of the operation?
Not at all.
No, okay. Would you marry me? No, I just kidding because I know what you're going to say. Not until after the operation. Now, I know I don't want to keep you any longer because you have an operation to perform right next door.
I have a breast augmentation I'm doing right now.
Okay.
I gotta run.
Thank you very, very much for your time.
Well, thank you for coming in to see me.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Plastic surgery is okay for some people, but me, I'd just rather leave everything the way nature intended it to be. Except these. It happened in America, and it's happening here, too. Look out for the symptoms. The hair slicked back, the skin tanning with an even sheen, the clothes that refuse to wrinkle. Please help us before it's too late. Help us stamp out Michael Douglas disease.
Coming to BBC2 this autumn.
Push the button down. Push it down. Hold it down. You've let it go. Hold it down. Push the button in and hold it in. You've let it go. Push it in.
The girl who spent 7 years trying to teach her grandmother to set the timer on the video.
I had a very successful career. I was top of the heap. I had 5 #1 singles, both albums platinum, here and in the States. All my videos are on high rotation on MTV. And then, one day, someone suggested I try it. I thought it would be good for my creative juices, all that, you know. And being weak, well, I'll give it a go. I was a goner. I couldn't get enough. I was hooked. I lost everything. My whole career just went up in smoke. No one seemed to take me seriously anymore. I wish I'd never tried it. It ruined my life.
He's not the only tragedy. It's a problem that affects many in the topsy-turvy world of rock and roll. Please help them. Send your donations to pop stars who think they can act. Oh no, it happened again.
What happened?
That horrible nightmare, I had it again.
Which one?
The one with the airline loses all my makeup. My power lunch is on at that restaurant called the Cirque. Then I must be in court for a meeting with the clerk. The au pair has her class, but still I can make it work. If maybe you take the baby.
Oh God, I'm sympathetic. My closing's set for 2. The buyer's in from Phoenix. My partner has the flu. The fact is I was here on the verge of asking you if maybe you take the baby.
Of course I know what you're doing's really vital stuff. I know how much your life's on the line.
Restarting your career, which I can't support enough, makes your work as important as mine.
But still I'm wondering if there's some
Still
way
I'm thinking, what would you
that
say
you can just adjust things
if you
today.
wanted to
I'll make your
stay?
favorite breakfast. I'll be
be your bestest friends.
I need a little help here, okay? I'm sure there's nothing to it.
A call or two will do it.
I have to make it clear here.
We're talking my career here.
Okay, I'm out the door. I know you can get it done.
I know you'll work it out, dear. I really have to run.
When you have your appointment, I bet it would be fun.
If maybe you take the baby.
Darling, I know today is fateful.
I know that this is hateful.
I know you've got a plateful.
Can't tell you how I'm grateful.
The bottles in the buggy.
We're down to our last huggy. My taxi's here. I love you, dear. Goodbye.
We'll be right back with A&E's This Whatever This Is.
Horizons only a train can show you. A rhythm you feel only on the rails. The people you meet. The friends you make. The time you share. There are endless reasons to see America by train. The best one is you've always wanted to. Amtrak's America, now half fare for children.
Did you know the cost of 2 business calls from these Detroit mechanics to Atlanta may surprise you?
Vintage cars are my specialty.
With AT&T Long Distance, your small business can get AT&T quality at extremely competitive prices.
I treat cars like people.
Even though the other company would like you to believe,
See ya.
they always save you lots of money.
That's all I save? Drives you crazy, doesn't it?
Competitive price, another AT&T advantage.
Where do you want to be in 20 years?
Well, my father worked for the same company for 39 years. He got 2 weeks vacation, but we never traveled far. He was saving to put 3 kids through college. At 65, he retired. At 67, he died. How can I invest so that after my kids graduate, I can enjoy the second half of my life?
You can get there from here with Shearson Lehman Brothers.
How do I know where to get my brakes done right?
Come to Midas. You get a lot of value for the price, and you get something else. Peace of mind. Knowing you get a thorough inspection by Midas-trained experts and a written estimate up front. Knowing every brake shoe and pad is guaranteed for as long as you own your car, and knowing the job will be done right. That's why more people come to us for brakes, knowing that nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
I must be the greatest. I took up the world. I took up the world. Free at last. Free at last. Thanks for the Air stop. Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
As long as they keep making history, we'll keep writing their biographies. Peter Graves hosts the landmark television series, Biography, the stories of extraordinary lives. Tuesday, only on A&E.
We're coming back, whether you want us to or not. You know how I used to end relationships? I'd never say, this isn't working out, or I don't want to see you anymore. If I never wanted to see a man again, I'd just say, you know, I love you. I want to marry you. I want to have your children. Sometimes I'd leave skid marks. The worst thing about breaking up with someone is when they want to stay your friend. Why do they want to do that? Why can't they get lost? One guy used to call me up all the time. I'd say, look, I don't have anything to tell you. He'd say, just tell me the same things you tell your friends. So I told him how horrible he was. My husband and I, we have one recurring argument. How long it takes to get ready to go out. Because this is how he goes out. I'm going out. Come on! Come on! I have things I have to do to myself before I leave the house. In front of the man I want to attract, I can look horrible. In front of people I'm never going to see again, I have to look my best. So he has this new strategy. He says, I'll be waiting for you in the car. He thinks this is going to make me hurry up. This just leaves me time to phone my friends. I I mentioned my husband's English, and we did have a big problem with immigration in America. We had to wait 6 months for him to get an appointment for an interview to get a green card. And we went down to the immigration building, and we had to prove we were married, and we'd forgotten our marriage certificate. I know we'd have to wait 6 more months. It was horrible. I looked at him. I said, I thought you brought it. He said, I thought you brought it. I said, I took it out of the filing cabinet and put it next to your keys. He said, well, why didn't you continue the thought and take it on into the car? And the lady said, oh, forget it. You're married. I do think men should be married, though. I do, because men don't live well by themselves. They don't. They don't even live like people. They live like bears with furniture. I know. I used to go over to my husband's cave. Nothing on the walls. Well, except for some food. The frost was so thick in the freezer you couldn't close the door. The apartment door. The cockroaches in his kitchen had stopped eating. They were full. They were on the counter doing aerobic exercise. I can't describe the bathroom to you because it was too disgusting. But I'll try. All I have to say about men in bathrooms is they're not real specific. Seems if they hit something, they're happy.
Bored with Jane Fonda's workout? Had enough of Calinetics? Then try the very latest thing in home aerobics. The person who parks the planes at the airport exercise video. Table tennis bat things not included. Plus, the Owl Jolson exercise video. Boot polish not included. And if you act now, you also get the fascist dictator exercise video. Poland not included.
Coming to BBC2 this autumn. The girl who thought she could hail a plane.
Now, Rachel, which fairy tale would you like to hear tonight? Jack, the Beanstalk, and the Conservation Notice? Or Snow White and the 7 people who were exactly like us, only shorter?
I like Cinderella marries, but maintains her own identity.
Yes, I like that one, too. Once upon a time, before Stephen Sondheim had stopped writing melodies, and there was only one brand of shampoo, there lived a poor girl named Cinderella. Cinderella lived with her stepmother and did the housekeeping while working her way through university. Cinderella didn't mind doing the housekeeping because sweeping was a very good exercise for the upper arm. She had 3 flabby stepsisters who were invited to a ball that the prince was to attend. Cinderella longed to go to the ball, not to meet the prince, but because she was doing her thesis on mingling, small talk, and its relation to the destruction of brain cells. This would be an excellent opportunity for research. Cinderella was left all alone in the kitchen. Suddenly, there was a huge cloud of smoke that was totally free of fluorocarbons and pollutants. As the smoke cleared, Cinderella recognized her fairy godperson, who gave her a ticket to the ball on recycled paper. There was one hitch. By midnight, Cinderella had to raise 2,000 pounds for comic relief. Cinderella went to the ball, and as she sat in the corner writing her thesis, the prince approached. She immediately asked him for the 2,000 pounds, and as comic relief was his favorite charity, he wrote her out a check. And he asked her to marry him. They were totally faithful to each other because of all of the awful diseases going around. And lived happily ever after, but still respected each other's space. And so the moral of the story is, greed, lust, and selfishness can only lead to despair. Dreams.
Oh, it's almost time for Dallas.
Feel my head. Well?
It's still ahead.
I've got sweaty palms, sweaty lip, sweaty elbows. Something's gone wrong with my sweat.
You go through this every time. You always overreact. There is nothing to be afraid of.
This time I'm definitely gonna die.
You're not going to die. Now, come on, take some deep breaths and behave. The plane is here.
Hi, Mom.
We'll be right back with more comedy on A&E, so if you have to go to the bathroom, do it now.
Like you, your car has a heart, the engine, and it has valves where deposits can form. The right diet can make a difference. Fill up with Mobile Super Unleaded Plus. Its detergent formula can unclog vital engine parts. For power and performance, get Mobile Super Unleaded Plus and drive your engine clean. Get a free box of hefty cinch sack bags with every fill-up of 8 gallons or more of Mobile Super Unleaded Plus.
Where do you want to be next year?
You know, I don't plan to be a partner in this firm forever. In fact, I've been doing something on the side that could be very rewarding. I have an offer to work full-time with some kids. Pays $11,000 a year. Now, how can we restructure my portfolio so I can tell them yes?
You can get there from here with Shearson Lehman Brothers.
Did you know the cost of 2 business calls from these San Diego pet stores to Denver may surprise you?
Of course they're easy to feed.
With AT&T long distance, your small business can get the quality you trust at extremely competitive prices.
They really do make perfect pets.
Even though the other company would like you to believe, they always save you lots of money.
That's my big savings? That's it. Not exactly the catch of the day.
Competitive price, another AT&T advantage.
Enter the world of the A&E Program Guide and discover extraordinary documentaries,
award-winning drama,
breathtaking performances,
and outrageous comedy.
Every month, the A&E Program Guide takes you behind the scenes of the best television has to offer.
From enlightening articles by thought-provoking authors to engaging interviews with today's brightest stars. You'll find it all in the guide.
Plus beautiful color photography, descriptive daily listings, and previews of A&E's upcoming programs.
To receive your 12 monthly issues for only $18 per year, send a check or money order to A&E Program Guide, P.O. Box 3044C, Southeastern Pennsylvania, 19398.
Or use your credit card and call toll-free 1-800-238-2800.
We're back, like that summer cold you can't get rid of.
I'm standing in front of Cedars-Sinai Hospital, where anyone who's anyone in Hollywood comes to die. Today I'm wearing black, not because it makes me look thinner, but because we're going on a very special tour with a very special guide. He's just this way. Hi, Greg.
Hi, Rita. Come on in.
Thank you. When did you first get the idea for Graveline Tours?
When I moved out to Los Angeles, I didn't want to see things like the Hollywood Bowl and Universal Studios or the La Brea Tar Pits. I wanted to see where Marilyn Monroe got that last prescription filled, or where Superman shot himself, or where Annie M. from The Wizard of Oz pulled that plastic cleaning bag over her head and suffocated herself.
Every morning when you get up, do you look at the obituaries, and if someone famous died, do you go, yes!
It makes my day. This is the motel where 27-year-old Janis Joplin died on October 4th, 1970. Once inside her room there, she opened a little red balloon that contained a ball of heroin, but it was a much more potent kind than her body was used to, and she boiled it down and then shot it up. She went to the lobby for a pack of cigarettes, and when she was back inside her room, her body contorted with a jolt, and it threw her violently to the floor.
You're a stickler for detail, aren't you, Greg?
This motel on the left is where Divine died. He was our very first customer on Graveline tours, and he was obsessed with where Fatty Arbuckle raped that girl. I kept telling him that it didn't happen in Los Angeles. It happened up in San Francisco. But he was so insistent that finally I just pointed to any building. I said, see, Divine, it happened right there on the 3rd floor, and that seemed to satisfy him.
Now, which one is Mae West's apartment?
There's one on the 5th floor with the air conditioner sticking out.
Ah, I guess that's where she got that line. Is that your air conditioner? You're just glad to see me. What else can you tell me about Mae?
Well, she had 18,000 different lovers in her life and invented the cervical sponge.
I guess she would have had to. How many stops on the tour?
80.
Tell me the truth, Greg. Have you been killing people to make your tour longer? How much did you charge for it?
$30 per body. This is the home where Jean Harlow died at the age of 26. She had a seriously inflamed gallbladder in addition to weakened kidneys, but her mother was a staunch Christian Scientist and refused all medical attention for her daughter.
That's very sad. Do you think Madonna's mother's a Christian Scientist?
Bye, Greg. Thank you.
Oh, well, don't think of it as a death. Just think of it as another stop on the tour. When's it due?
Sorry? When's what due?
The baby.
God, do you think it's a baby?
Well, what do you think it is?
So it was a bad spot.
Am I fat? I am. I'm fat.
I didn't say that.
But you paused. What was that pause?
I was just thinking.
About whether or not I was fat. That means I am fat. And you were just trying to think of a nice way to tell me.
Have it your way.
I'm not Dan Aykroyd fat. I am. I'm Dan Aykroyd fat.
I didn't say a word. I was just looking.
See, you had to look. You're married to me. You know what I look like, and you didn't know I wasn't Dan Aykroyd fat. Ghostbusters 1 or 2. Not driving Miss Daisy. He was huge in driving Miss Daisy. Now you're lying.
You're not fat. You're not thin. You're just you.
Or maybe just a porky version of me. Right, that's it. I'm going on a diet.
I thought you were already on a diet.
That was this morning. If I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to have to go on a diet once every 2 hours. I feel thinner. Do I look thinner?
Oh, you don't have to lose weight. If you want to lose weight, fine, but don't do it for me because I love you just the way you are.
That's the worst thing you've ever said. I'm never going to eat again. I can't even look at that ice cream. It's making me feel sick. I'm anorexic.
You're not anorexic.
I'll probably get so thin I'll just shrivel up and die. I feel weak. I better eat something. I've run out of chocolate sauce. I can't possibly eat this without chocolate sauce. I better hurry. It's almost time for my diet.
I'm really not sure about this.
That is your problem. You're too closed off. Trust me, there is no better way to meet a man than an adult education course. You remember Susie Franklin?
What, Spotty Susie?
Exactly. She ran into a man in fencing class. They're still together. Even now they're out of hospital.
No.
The secret is to enroll in a course the type of man you might like would enroll in. Now, don't worry. These courses aren't very difficult. See? Here's one. Perfect. Relearning to stand up straight. What's the matter? You have something against men with good posture?
No, it's always been a dream of mine to be with a man who could balance a book on his head.
Wrong approach. Forget it. It's too direct. You're right. My fault. What do you enjoy?
I like to sit. And blink.
Deliberately difficult. You know there are no courses in sitting and blinking. My God, here it is. Sit and blink while holding a conversation.
No, I hate conversation. Look, I really appreciate what you're doing, but I just don't think
Here it is, the perfect course for you. How not to meet anyone.
When does it start?
It doesn't. You just stay home and send in your money.
I know you're trying to help, but I really feel you're butting in on my life. I'm just not ready to meet a new person.
Okay, have it your way. Stay married to Bob.
I don't mean to brag, but Harriet's and my marriage is really going great.
It's true. We've really got it together.
Isn't my baby something? I don't know how two people can be so lucky together.
I don't believe it one bit. He's nice, he calls her baby too much. She's sweet, the way she clings to his arm. Charm, they are the picture of charm and devotion. The way he looks deep in her eyes.
You're special.
Raises her up to the skies.
You're special.
He is so loving and she is so perfect, and I don't believe it one bit. One bit.
Do you want to know the secret of my marriage? The secret is, no matter how tired I am, no matter what sort of day I've had, I'm always available for my man. That's why my marriage works.
I don't believe it one bit. Her smile reveals a bit too much teeth. His face is rather too much like stone. Drone. All I can hear is the drone of her praises, and while she's extolling their joy, why is he eyeing that boy? She is so total and he is so macho, and I don't believe it one bit. One bit.
You see, what makes Andrew and me different is that we relate to each other as human beings. I mean, when he looks at me, he doesn't see Linda. He doesn't care about Linda. He cares about this human being.
I don't believe it one bit. Her voice is just a little too tense.
He relates.
His grin stays on a little too long. Wrong. There's something terribly wrong with the picture, since everything's going so right.
He really loves me.
Why are her knuckles so white?
He really does.
He is so open and she is so gushing, and I don't believe it one bit. One bit.
Marion and I have been swapping with other couples for about a year now. We find that having sex outside our marriage has actually brought us closer together.
I don't believe it one bit. His throat is just a little too dry. Her laugh is just a little too quick. Sick. I think I'm going to be sick from the sugar if sex really frees you from qualms. What's all that sweat on his palms? Look at those couples now. She is so rapturous. He is so courteous. She is so generous. He is so chivalrous. She is so fatuous. He is so unctuous. I don't know how they achieve it, but I don't believe We'll be right back. You're watching A&E, unless, of course, you're not.
Whether I'm racing 200 miles an hour or driving 55, I don't accept compromises. You shouldn't either. Cars should be responsive, yet fuel efficient. Roomy, yet sleek. Not to mention affordable.
Well, surprisingly, one car does all that and more. The new Cutlass Supreme.
So take a look at any new Cutlass Supreme and see for yourself.
Here's one car that does it all and does it right.
New generation of old.
This minivan goes shopping, gets the kids to school, carries camping gear. When I need brakes, I can't wait for my dealer to fix them.
Then come to Midas.
Hey, this is a minivan.
Hey, this is Midas. Cars, trucks, vans, and minivans. We're the brake experts. We do the job right with a written estimate up front, Midas-trained experts, and a great guarantee.
What about price?
You get a good price and a lot of value. For brakes done right, nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
Where do you want to be in 5 years?
I had an old Studebaker truck and $300 when I started this company. In a few years, my sons will be ready to take over, and then I'd like to... I never told anybody this. I want to live in Paris and go to cooking school. Hey, that's what I want to do. Will I have the money to do it?
You can get there from here with Shearson Lehman Brothers. Horizons only a train can show you. A rhythm you feel only on the rails. The people you meet. The friends you make. The time you share. There are endless reasons to see America by train. The best one is you've always wanted to. Amtrak's America, now half fare for children.
It's 11 p.m. You know where your comedians are. A&E's Improv, same as it always was.
We're back, and we've brought cake.
Coming to BBC2 this autumn. The girl who was jealous of where other people sat.
I'm sorry, I'm just incapable of making that decision now. It's just too early.
Oh, why does this keep happening to me? What am I, a magnet?
Just give me time. You're rushing me.
I am so sick of being messed around by men like you.
I'm sorry.
How old are you?
31.
Oh, why do I keep meeting middle-aged men who still don't know what they want out of life? Will you just grow up and make a decision?
Okay. I'll have the tortellini.
At last, with or without vegetables? Oh! It was the worst birthday present I could have gotten for him, but it was what he wanted. Oh, and not only did I get him the big medical book, I got him the one with the pictures. I have to go. I think he's just gotten a new illness. Normal.
That's one of the symptoms. I'm achy and I'm bloated and my periods are very irregular.
Never had a period.
How irregular do you want them? Never. That's my definition of irregular. I've got menopause. I've also got this.
What is that?
Loose hand. Look how loose that hand is. Look, I can't turn the pages of my medical book to find out what other diseases I've got. I'll have to use this hand, the one that's got cystitis.
Give me that book.
No, look, this is serious. Do you remember all those red spots I had up and down my arm and I didn't know what they were?
Those mosquito bites?
They weren't mosquito bites.
What were they? You don't have leprosy.
I do.
How did you get it? By watching Ben-Hur?
I'm not joking. Look, red spots that itch. That's how it starts. That's what I had. That's probably why I've got this loose hand. It's about to fall off. Quick, phone the hospital.
I can't phone the hospital. What do you want me to tell them you have?
Chapters 8 to 12. I've got about 1.5 inches.
Are you sure you want me to call the hospital?
I'd call, but I've got this.
I wish I had never gotten you the stupid book. Hello. Yes, is this Westminster Hospital? I don't know quite how to say this, but... Do you have a leprosy wing? Yes, my husband thinks he has it, among other things. Yes, I got it for him for his birthday. Yes, the one with the pictures in it. Yes, we can be there immediately. Come on.
Where are we going?
She said you're going to have a little operation.
Operation?
It's nothing serious. We're just going to have your book removed. Thank you very much. Now, this is the last show, and this is where I ask for questions. So if you have a question and it's been building up inside of you, ask it now or else it's long distance. Does anyone have any questions tonight? Wait, we have one immediately. I'm not prepared. Let me get my breath. Okay, one right over here, this man on the end.
Rita, what do you think of Madonna?
Oh, dear, I've said that over and over, haven't I? Well, you know, she struts around in Nazi lingerie. What am I supposed to think of her? Those are dangerous costumes she wears. She could put someone's eye out. Any other questions?
What type of things do you do to keep fit?
I do aerobics. I wonder how they got that word, though. I mean, do gym instructors stand around and go, if we're going to charge 10 pounds an hour, we can't call it jumping up and down? Yes.
Now you're leaving us, do you have any advice or tips for other visitors to England?
Look right, look left, like they say on the street, I think. Because you can get run down very easily. I'm going to miss it here. I love it here. You know one thing I'm really going to miss? The body shop. I love the body shop. I have my peach shampoo and my banana conditioner. I have more fruit on my head than Carmen Miranda. And I love walking every place. That's a great thing about London, because I live on a cliff in California. So I can't go for a walk. I can go for a plunge. Over here, I have a little problem right over here. You have your purse underneath your feet. See right there? Be careful if you go to New York. Don't do that, because there are thieves everywhere. I was sitting having dinner once, and I had my purse underneath my feet, and I got up, and it was gone. And I'd been eating at home. Now, what I was going to, I started to point to you, right? Yes, I think so.
Right, Rita, for your next birthday, if someone gave you a gift voucher for cosmetic surgery, what, if anything, would you have altered?
Oh, I don't even have to think about that. I need a gift certificate. Oh, I can't say it. I don't even have to think about that. I need a gift certificate. I can't say that. I don't
Someone
even...
gave you a gift voucher for speech therapy.
You mean I could have said voucher? I didn't even have to try and say certificate? I want a gift certificate for liposuction. That's what I want. I want all my fat sucked out of me. But I have a problem. I read about liposuction. They can accidentally vacuum out internal organs that you're using. You know, I'm a little afraid. Everything seems to be needed that I have. Except the gallbladder. You know, your gallbladder does nothing. It's kind of the vice president of organs. Any other questions?
Which Hollywood parties have you been to, and which did you enjoy most?
I'm a disaster at any party. I went to one Hollywood party, and I ended up talking to the photographer the whole night. And I can't remember anyone's name immediately after they tell me because I get too nervous. Do you know that syndrome? Well, my friend has a trick. She says, never ask the person's name, just say, how do you pronounce your name again? Because that's much more polite. So I tried that at this Hollywood party. I said, how do you pronounce your name again? He said, Bill. I thought quickly, though, I did. I said, oh, yes, that's right. The second L is silent. Young woman right here in a very pretty jacket.
What's your secret to a perfect relationship?
I think it's very simple. You have to... I'm not sure now. No, you have to let the other person be themselves. And you have to pretend they're someone else. Thank you very much.
Tomorrow, Rayner risks a long-standing friendship giving in to political pressures to further his career on Call to Glory. Now stay tuned for Caroline's Comedy Hour, next on A&E.
The only company in the air express business with 2 next-day delivery options is Federal Express. 10:30 a.m. if your package has to arrive early, or if it can get there just a little later in the day. We've got a brand new afternoon service that will deliver almost anything up to 150 pounds by 3 o'clock. At a price that's tough to beat. Same great service, now twice a day. Federal Express, absolutely, positively the best in the business. Twice a day.
Performance, endurance, elegance. What more can anyone ask of a luxury car?
Quite a bit, actually.
What began as a line in the sand became the swiftest, most decisive victory in military history. Now that the battle is over, see how the war was won.
Oh, that blew the hell out of it!
Operation Desert Storm, coming Sunday, June 30th to A&E.
I'm trying to call overseas. I think I remember the number, but... So I call the operator. But it's another long-distance company, and she can't give me an international number. Hey, AT&T does. She says, you're not dealing with AT&T.
If you miss dealing with AT&T, it's easier than ever to come back. Just call 1-800-446-0100 right now, and we'll switch you back for free.
They kept saying how much money I'd save. Then I get the first bill. I'm not kidding. I thought it was a typo. I mean, where were the big savings?
People who thought they could do better than AT&T are coming back for the real value. You can too. It's simple. Just call now and come back for free.
Takes longer getting through, but I'm saving a ton, right? Wrong.
You gotta read the fine print. I couldn't believe it.
You're not dealing with AT&T.
Oh, I am now. 1-800-446-0100 for dependable, crystal clear AT&T long-distance service. Call now and we'll switch you for free. You couldn't pick a better time to come back.
Wednesday on A&E, Walter Cronkite traces the liberation of the Philippines on the 20th century, followed by Battle Lines. Then, Frenchmen take sides during the Nazi occupation on cities at war. And later, a breakthrough mission meets with disaster on spaceflight. Wednesday on A&E.